Welcome to episode 14 of the T.O.D. project, brought to you by Triumph Company with your hosts, Marcel Scott and Jared Klein. Today on the T.O.D. project, Triumph Company Brand Ambassador Rose Fernandez, along with Marselis, go into the importance of working out, how Rose got into fitness, and her childhood in Peru and Florida, as well as talking about an idea that the Triumph team had, a Triumph Company gym. Get connected with Triumph Company on Instagram at Triumph Company US, as well as visiting their website, triumphcompany.us, while using the code TOD10 for 10% off your order at checkout. That is TOD10. We would love and appreciate it if you would subscribe to the TOD project on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, along with following the podcast on Spotify. Also, episode 20 of the TOD project will be streamed live on YouTube. So the link to our YouTube channel will be in the description on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a stream. Finally, make sure you follow our special guest Rose on Instagram at Rose_Fern. That is at ROSE_FERN. With that, sit back, relax, and open your minds for today's episode.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the T.O.D. Project podcast. This is Marcella Scott, your host. Today we have a special guest named Rose Fern. I'm excited for this podcast. Hope you guys can listen to this and get some value today. So today we got our guest, Rose. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty amazing. Pretty cold here in Connecticut. We're expecting some snow. Maybe I think this is the second storm of the year. But yeah, just going with it.
Sheesh. See, I really need to come out there to Connecticut. I know there's an amazing squad out there, but I don't want to be a frozen icicle. I'm a little boy from Tennessee. I'm a little country black boy from Tennessee. It gets cold here, but it really doesn't. Like today, I was good with just going outside with. I had this up under. I had a Triumph t-shirt. I got to go ahead and show it to YouTubers and everything. Go ahead and get it. All that stuff will be down in the description below. And Rose's Instagram, obviously, will be at the bottom of it. Anyways, in Tennessee, sometimes I don't have to wear a big ass jacket. I can wear, like a regular t-shirt and like maybe a button up long sleeve shirt and go about my day like today. But yeah, Rose, I am so happy to have you on. Guys, Rose is our second brand ambassador for Triumph Company. Rose, I really want to know your story. I know you're a translator. I know you are a trader, an entrepreneur, and you are a badass fitness person. I've seen you in the gym getting it in. Don't play. So let the audience know a little bit about yourself and like what got you started on your journey through entrepreneurship, fitness, and everything.
Everything. Okay. So I'm 32 years old. I'm originally from New York City. And I've gotten, like, from a young age, there's people that, they're born, they're raised in the same city, whatnot. But from a very young age, I was always moving around from country to country because my parents were missionaries in the Catholic Church. So they love to go to poor countries and in Latin America and just help out in any way that they could. And while they were doing their missionary work, me and my siblings, we would just go to school. So from a young age, got to travel a lot. Probably full time. Let's say I would maybe around like 9 years old was when we traveled to Peru. Lived there for a year. The transition was difficult because people don't think about it, but even though a lot of people are bilingual or even trilingual nowadays, bilingual don't even cut it. I know people that speak 5 languages, but yeah, even though a language, like I know Spanish, it's not the same to think and to write and to explain things in a different language. Like if you could, most people can have a basic conversation, but when you're, let's say, doing math and explaining a problem or just speaking, it was different. So I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy. Yeah, this is easy. I already know Spanish, but the transition was very difficult. And we did a year in Peru. Later moved on to Puerto Rico. way better climate. Was very excited about that because Peru's kind of cold, especially in Cusco, which is close where Machu Picchu is. So it was nice. I love the hot weather, and we were there for another year, and eventually came back to the States. Um, was in the States. We came back to New York City, where, like I said earlier, originally from, and came back to New York City and in New York for a couple of years. And then my mom just like decided, hey, we're going to Colombia, where my mother is from. And by then it was already freshman year of high school. So I was, again, had to transition from the whole English to Spanish. And when it comes to high school, the levels are pretty different. So let's say what we're looking at over here in freshman year of high school is like 6th or 7th grade in Latin America. So when it comes to high school, they're a little bit more advanced. So transitioning to that was pretty crazy. And then fast forward, and yes, I got to graduate, come back to the States, came back to Connecticut. So that's how we ended up in Connecticut. Um, yeah, pretty weird, pretty weird. Um, and just, grew up. If you want to say grow up at 18, because you're, like I guess I would say you're still a child. Um, and just started, let's say, to get into the adulthood, maybe kind of thing, where you don't know where you got to do what you got to do, but you just know that you got to do it.
Right.
Right. We're expected to get into college and start a career and whatnot. And I was still so young. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I ended up moving to Florida when I was 19, was with some family, was there for a couple months, felt like that didn't work, moved back to Connecticut. I've always been, a back and forth kind of person. So like stability was something really weird to me because, like I said, from a young age, always moving around. So being in one place for a long time felt really weird. When I eventually came back to Connecticut, after being in Florida for a couple months, that's when I just decided to go to school. I didn't really know what I wanted to go to school for, so I studied business administration. I was like, okay, pretty basic. You can pretty much get into anything, and use my whole what do you call it, the whole being bilingual, the whole language to my advantage, because I didn't need to, what do you call it, I didn't need to study it. I already pretty much knew it. So I was like, okay, all I need to do is get certified, take several tests to, what do you call it, just to see what level of fluency, because there's reading and writing comprehension, there's speaking, there's also listening, so you have to take certain tests so they can see what level you're at. And if you're going to be translating and interpreting are different things. So to translate verbatim is one thing, to do a summary is another, to interpret too is another, because I'm pretty sure, Marcellus, you heard that, oh yeah, there's Spanish, but there's so many different kinds of Spanish, and it depends like what country, and it means one thing in one country, but it means another thing. So I ended up getting involved with Nielsen advertising, and we would monitor commercials. So I was able to um, translate for commercials for Univision, Galavision, Telemundo, Azteca America, and I did that for 8 years. So while I was going to school, did that. Also, had my family, had a kid, got married, all during that time. And then it came to a point where it was like, okay, we're outsourcing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been here for 8 years. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What's gonna happen? And then luckily I was able to, because we got noticed, I was able to apply to different jobs, where I ended up applying for a government job and translating for court as well. So because of my experience with TV, I was able to do court, and then eventually work at an attorney's office for immigration, an immigration attorney. So I did that for some time, and then from there transition into whole different industry, right? Because there comes a point where you're like, okay, you know what, I just want to switch it up. Started doing HR for a construction company. So this is where things really changed for me. This is where my life really changed. I started to get into fitness. I want to say when I was around 20, I don't even remember. I want to say between 24 and 26. And I remember a friend from work had invited me to a Zumba class. This is where I'm transitioning over real quick. Invited me to a Zumba class, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. And they're like, yeah, it's like Latin American dance. You're working out and you're dancing to fun music at this, you're doing this all at the same time. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. So I go to a class, I loved it. And then the gym where I had gone to, they're like, oh, they also have a group fitness class. If you don't, and I didn't, because I was so new, I didn't feel comfortable going to a gym. Being a girl, you see all these huge guys working out, and you're like, snap, like, I'm a girl, and like, what do? I don't want to look retarded. I know what this machine does. I don't know how to do it. So I was like, let me do a group class. And I was one of the youngest people in that group class. I want to say, early 20s, and the ladies in there, I'm not trying to call them old or anything, but they were like, I want to say late 30s, early 40s. And I couldn't believe it when, didn't smoke, didn't drink. And these ladies kicked my ass. I couldn't keep up with them. Couldn't keep up, going up the stairs, young, you're right. And I was young going up the stairs, and I was like winded, carrying, like the groceries, only like I could only do like 2 or 3 bags at the same time because it was too heavy. So I was like, there's totally something wrong here. And again, I've been very thin my whole life. So I was like, there's something wrong if I'm relatively, healthy, I'm not obese, and I can't keep up with, women that are like double my age. There's something wrong here. So that's when I really started to get into fitness. So as I had transitioned from my job, I had a lot of responsibility. I started stressing a lot. I started stressing a lot. And I want to say I was there for 3 years. I even entered depression because there was so much on my back. There was so much put on my shoulders, and I couldn't deal with it. So the more as time, it was just 3 years, but each month that went by, the more I got into fitness, because while I was, doing my thing at work, like the highlight of my day, and I know this sounds kind of fucked up, I don't know if I could curse here, was not even spending time with my family, but it was like, okay, I need that time for myself to go to the gym and just take it out on the weights. Just, I felt like I had no control over my life. And the only thing that I had that little bit of control was my body, was my health. Because, I felt like, oh my gosh, like at my job, I'm a slave, at home, I'm mom and I have my responsibilities. I can't really get to do what I want. But that little time that I got to go to the gym was the time where I can relieve that stress, where I can take it out on the weights, where I can push myself, where, even though there's a big, what do you call it, like a gender gap between, you see these big guys at the gym and they're going crazy. And, I'm tiny, I'm 125 pounds, 5'4", very petite. And, and the first times I was going, sometimes guys would be like, hey, sweetie, that's not how you do it. And just hearing that would make me so mad. And I'm extremely competitive. I was like, all right, Rose, you got to step it up. And then, like I said, seeing all these women that were such kick ass at the gym, and, and then I saw the changes. I started putting in the work at the gym. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I didn't have the money to really get into a personal trainer because, it is pretty expensive. But thank God for technology, right? Thank God for technology. I downloaded an app from a fitness athlete that I really admired and just followed that plan. Like with anything in life, if you don't know what you got to do, look for a mentor. You look for somebody that knows what they're doing, do what they're telling you to do, and you'll get the results. So that's exactly what I did, because I was like, okay, I don't have the money for a trainer, but this app is affordable. I can follow the plan, follow it at my own pace. I got more confident at the gym, and then I realized, I stopped doing classes because they were way too easy for me. They're way too easy for me. I realized that I had this ambition, that I had this strength, that I was always constantly like pushing myself. And then, once you become a little gym rat, you see the same people at the gym, and the people I started to train with wasn't even females. It was more guys, it was guys, because I was like, the girls couldn't keep up with me. The girls couldn't keep up. So I was like, guys, they're these, I was always looking to do something different. So I got a lot of training from men, from, let's say, what do you call it? Like switching it.
Bodybuilders. Oh,
Huh?
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was saying,
bodybuilding, like bodybuilding. But then I was like, bodybuilding is not for me. Bodybuilding is not for me. But I kept an open mind, and there was a time that I did some CrossFit, some HIIT training. I was always looking just to take it to different things. So throughout like the past couple of years, it's been about, now it's going to be 8. I want to say in April, it's going to be 8 years that I've been doing fitness. Um,
nice.
that I've done different things. The big thing that I'm into right now is calisthenics. I'm in love with calisthenics. Because
Snap.
something that I've noticed, I was like, what good is it to be strong, to be like, have this, powerlifting and whatnot, all this strength, if you don't have the endurance, if you don't have the resistance, if you don't have the strength to do with your own body weight. And that's what calisthenics is about. And that's why I'm so in love with it, right? I also have these other goals that I want to do, whereas I was like, oh, like I told you, I'm skinny. Um, and I felt like I was like, oh, I want the bigger legs. I want the bigger legs. I want them so bad. I want like nice thick legs. And I was like, okay, but what do I want more? Because right now my body, my build is for calisthenics. If I want, which is a completely different workout
Yep.
for bodybuilding and muscle growth. It's completely different. So I was like, okay, where am I at right now? And what is it that I really want? I was like, okay, so I have the body type for calisthenics. The workouts that I already do are very, very similar to body weight. I can do this. So that's what I'm doing right now. With the whole, what do you call it? With my whole job and everything, I eventually got laid off when the whole pandemic started. Which is the way that things work, the way the universe works is insane, because
Mm-hmm.
a couple of months prior to that was when I got introduced into trading. And I was like, oh my God, like I was already looking for different ways of income. And then that fell into my lap. And then the whole, pandemic, I think it was just a couple months into it, then the whole pandemic started. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I have all this time to really learn and submerge myself and really get into this entrepreneurship, because I was just like, I want to build, I want to get into network marketing. I want to trade. I want to get back into my fitness,
Mm-hmm.
because that was another thing that I realized. And that a lot of women look up to me, right? That's where I also noticed, like, you can't keep information to yourself. A lot of women would come up to me at the gym and be like, oh my God, you look amazing. I seen you work out. I seen you here a couple times. You're great. This, and that. And I was just like, you know what? Instead of being that, like the hater people always complaining, be the person that is encouraging other people, right? Be the
Right.
person that's encouraging other people, because there's people that struggle with obesity, but I was a person that
So true.
struggled with, being thin and being tiny and being weak is also a struggle. People see and they're like, oh, you're thin, what do you have to worry about? When the gym shut down during the pandemic, I actually lost weight. I actually lost muscle mass, because even though I was working out at home, it's not really the same thing. And,
Nope.
being at home and not even being able to go out, sometimes just that little trip to go to the gym, or, putting on an outfit to go to the gym or whatever, that those little things, believe it or not, that makes a difference. Or, seeing your trainer friends and, hey, how you doing? Saying hi to your friends at the gym, that makes a whole difference. That changes your whole workout. So yes, there's different kinds of struggles that people don't even think about. People think only obesity, but there's always two sides to the coin. So I also wanted to really help women, because like I'm a mom too. And I know what it feels like also to, once you have a kid, to not feel sexy, to not feel beautiful, to not feel strong, because pregnancy and the first couple of months of you having your kid, it takes a toll on your body, right? It takes a huge toll on your body. And a lot of women struggle with body image issues and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I did it, and I can help other women do it as well. I started my fitness journey later in life. I was it's not so late, but there's people that have been doing fitness like their whole life, or like
Yep.
gymnastics or some type of sports. They've been very athletic when I really wasn't. So I'm like, if I can do it, if I've accomplished certain fitness goals, if I'm able to, like be a sexy, strong mom, other women can do it too. Because I
Amen.
see it all the time at the gym when women walk in and they're like, I don't know what to do. Or they're doing workouts that a lot of men do, right?
Right.
Because our bodies are different. It's like um they're trying, maybe, I don't know, to get a smaller waist or something, but they're doing these exercises maybe that aren't the best for trimming your waist. Or some women want to build a nice back without having a humongous back.
Yeah.
And our anatomies, our strength is different. So I know the struggles, I understand the struggles. And women are so powerful, are so powerful. It's insane. But the ones that I've seen lift heavier at the gym, I want to say, are women. The ones that really, that aren't scared that aren't scared to live. Because now, I want to say the past, maybe last 3 years, you have seen that more women are feeling confident, more women are feeling like, what, men aren't the only ones that have to come to the gym and lift heavy. Because that's a big misconception that we hear too, especially when I started, was like, oh, I don't want to lift too heavy because I don't want to get big like a guy. So
Yep.
ladies,
Yep.
any ladies that are listening right now, ladies, that is not true. Our bodies, our testosterone levels are completely different. There is no way, unless you're juicing, and taking some stuff, there's no way that your body is gonna get big and massive like that, like a man. Never. You're gonna
Right.
be, depending your body type, your metabolism, your body's gonna react in a different way, but you don't have to worry. So it's okay to lift heavy. I tell a lot of this to my friends. It's okay to lift heavy. And then when it comes to dieting and whatnot, um, it's actually 70% what you eat, and like 30%, fitness. Because that's another thing that you have to figure out. It's a lot of trial and error. What works for me might not work for somebody else, because let's say I have a faster metabolism, or for example, I'm lactose intolerant, so I tend to stay away from dairy. So everyone is different, and your body is your temple. Your body is your
Thanks.
temple. You got to figure yourself out. Just everybody functions a little bit differently. They say that genetics has a lot to play in it, but it's also mentality. It's also
Thanks.
mentality. So, figuring yourself out. And that's a whole process. That's a whole process. And you have to enjoy and embrace that process. Enjoy it. A lot of people want that six pack, but they don't appreciate, the crunches, the sit-ups, the whole workouts, what
Right.
do you call it? The what
The
you eat,
plain. Oh yeah.
the
What you eat?
yeah,
The
the meal
plain
plans.
things.
It's
Yep.
a
Yep.
yeah, exactly. It's a whole process. And the beautiful thing is, seeing the changes. The first thing I started seeing in myself was like my arms, was always really, maybe they
Oh
look
shoot!
on
You got
here.
a little. You got a little
The
rump
first,
going on.
yeah, the first thing I started seeing was my arms. Like I said, I was skinny. I was skinny most
See,
of my life, and then seeing
for the
some.
people on Spotify, listening in, you got to see the visual on YouTube. This woman right here, she has amazing biceps, and it's great to see that. And honestly, Rose, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I just had to go ahead and give a description of what those things look like. She got some pythons, what my dad would say, some pythons. And Rose, everything you were saying, it was phenomenal. Like literally, women can get in the gym. You're not gonna get big like a man. It's great for your body. It's gonna build your self confidence, and it's just gonna do a lot of things for you mentally as well. Your mental clarity will be even better because you work out. Because not only that you're lifting weights, not only you're eating right and all that stuff, but you're oxidating the body because now you're active, you're moving, and you're getting the body going and getting the blood flowing and stuff. It's just gonna make you live longer and just be a better person, period, by simply going to the gym an hour a day. That's all you gotta do, an hour a day. Go in there, go hard as you can, an hour a day. And remember you said about working out at home, working out at the gym. It is totally different because now you got the energy. You got other people there that can motivate you. you see other people working out and going hard, you know, that makes you want to get in and go hard. Like it's almost like osmosis. All right, okay, well, they getting it in, I gotta get it in. Like you don't feel right, you just standing there. So that's why I like my gym. I like going to Gold's Gym. But Rose, we talked about this too. And shout out to Jared. Me and Jared, we made some decisions to get us a job while we're still doing our business and still running our podcast. And I have another business in which you do the same thing. But he decided to start working at Planet Fitness. He goes to orientation, I believe, tomorrow. And me, I just started H&M. So the reason why I'm doing it is because one, I mean, yeah, the extra money's cool, but I'm doing it to learn how to open up my own store. So that way we can have a Triumph store somewhere in a mall somewhere. And then he's at Planet Fitness, wanting to learn the guidelines on how to run the gym. So Rose, I want to ask you, since you are a brand ambassador, you had ideas, you talked about like us having a Triumph gym. What would we need in the gym for it to be like a perfect gym for all lifters, athletes, MMA fighters to be able to come and have a great time?
All right. What, like, one, because I'm a parent, like a kids care, you know, that really helps, because a big excuse for parents is, oh, I can't go to the gym because I have no one to watch my kid. So that one eliminates that one like right out the park. We want to get the excuses out of the way. So any type of kids care, one, that's amazing. Two, I love monkey bars. I love monkey bars, and I love bars because, you know, like, since I'm getting into calisthenics, the workouts are completely different. They're just so much more fun. And I see that unless you go to like a parkour gym or an outdoor gym, there's not a lot of indoor gyms that have like bars like that. They might have, you know, for like pull-ups and whatnot, but I don't really see that they have maybe a little area for bar work, because I love that. You know, some gyms have like a little studio, and they have, you know, what do you call it, for cycling? They have a cycling area too.
Mhm.
So I would say maybe something that fits like everybody. I have a lot of friends that are into martial arts too. So,
Hey.
you know, a place where they can do their, you know, regular like lifting weight workout, and then a place where they can, you know, if they're boxers, you know, punch a bag, or some place where there's some mats where they can, you know, roll around and get down and dirty and do their thing. So, and like a gym that accommodates everyone, right? A gym that accommodates everyone. And sometimes I know it is difficult to accommodate everyone, but that's another thing. I know a lot of people that have like more than one gym membership because of different ambiances that they get from different gyms. I kid you not, I have a friend that has 3 memberships. One,
What?
for example, yeah, three. One, because the first gym that she goes to is like for power lifters. So that gym, it's got like iron weights, and it's very like, let's say, like a garage feel. You know, it isn't really high tech. You know, it's got like that, I'm a badass. You know, it's got that badass feel.
Right.
So she goes to that gym for that. Second gym that she goes to, is the one that I go to. It's very large. It's got like a lot of space. You know, right now the sauna's closed because of COVID, whatnot. But, you know, it's got the sauna. It's got a women's area only. It's very open. You know, there's different weights. There's a lot of what do you call it? Where the treadmills. There's an area just for treadmills. So it's like a diverse. And then she has the third gym membership. She told me is like a, what do you call it? Like a 24-hour gym. You know, it's small,
like 24-hour fitness.
yeah, like low key, you know, like they don't have a lot of crazy equipment on there, maybe just a couple of weights, and you pretty much never see anyone because everyone has, you know, like a key code access, go work out for an hour, they're like in and out. So depending on what she's working on that day, depending on how she's feeling, you know, she'll go to that gym. So wouldn't it be cool if we could have like a gym that accommodates everybody? Like that person that wants to be kind of alone or have that feel, you know, we have like a separate, you know, kind of like a garagey part attachment to the main area of the gym, you know.
Yeah, because I love the workout. I love it all. I love it all too. Everything you saying makes sense because like I've been working out off and on since I was 13 years old. I remember the first time I started lifting weights, and my body responds well to weights. Like literally, I could start working out for 6 months, lose a little bit of muscle mass, get back in the gym within 3 to 4 months, look like I never left. And it's just, you know, my genetics and just the way that I just know how to lift. I know my body. I know what's good for me. And like what you were saying, we need a gym that's got everything in there. I just imagine right now we got a gym. We got an MMA. We got an MMA ring. We got that. We got the punching bags. We got the mats and stuff for them to roll around and do their thing, like you said. Also, I want to have a pool inside the gym. So if you want to come in there, you want to get done lifting, and you tired of being on the cycling or on the treadmill over and over again, you can go get in the pool, do some laps. I was gonna say run some laps. I mean, you can run in the water, but swim in the water. People that have a high school team may not have a swimming pool at their gym, or maybe somebody that's a swimmer can go there and get their swimming in. Have a sauna. Have those plates, like the metal plates that clack. Oh my God, dumbbells all the way from 5 all the way up to like 200. What else would we have to have in that gym? Like you said, we'd have to have like you said, there's not too many gyms that do have where there's like monkey bars. We can like, climb, do monkey bars or do like pull-ups and stuff. Gold's Gym surprisingly has that, but we'll have one of those in there. I can see us having those ropes, doing like battle ropes. That would be amazing. A good leg press machine, a good 5 to 6, maybe 10 squat racks. We got some benches in there. I think I don't know if I said everything that we may need. Matter of fact, obviously we're gonna need leg extension, hamstring curl machine, all the accessory work machines. We're gonna have those, and I want to have a lot of like plate loaded machines where you can do presses or you can do pull, seated rolls and things like that. There's a lot of machines out there that I love. I'm gonna work out until I die. I'm gonna be 90 years old and they're pumping some iron.
I can't imagine my life like not working out, because it's become a lifestyle. Like you said, I was surprised when, gyms closed down. We were out for a couple months and I was like, oh God, like what is my strength gonna look like? What is it gonna look like? And obviously, like you say that that your body's not gonna respond the same way, but you still, like, the first day that gym opened back up, I tried to do the workout I did like the last time I was there. And obviously I couldn't do it, like the weight, it was too much. But then surprisingly, I noticed that I'm like, okay, but I didn't lose all those gains that I thought I lost, because when you work out for so long, like you said, you've been working out since you're 13 years old, you stop for a couple of months, but your body is used to it. Your body still got that muscle memory. Your body is an intelligent tool. Your body is incredibly intelligent. But after coming back, I noticed I'm like, I think week two, kid you not, I was like stronger, a little bit stronger than before, maybe like 10% extra. And I was like, oh, what? After 2 weeks of like going at it, because your body just adapts. It's mentality, it's your physical, the physical aspect, and then there's the what, I can't think of the word, the way that you eat. It's all these things working together. It's insane. But I can't wait to see what type of gym we come up with, like to just please everybody. See people just go on there from any fitness level. Like if you want the hard, hard ass, they got their little area over there. If you got the people that are into the whole MMA stuff, they got their area over there. Even like, some women too, like I said, they're very shy. My gym has a women's area. And I see that a lot of women like to use it. I actually was kind of offended and I went to complain, because the women's area, the heaviest weight that they had on there was 40 pounds. And I'm like, what you trying to say, that girls can't lift? And every time I would go in, I would say something about it. And because there would be women too that wanted to be in that alone area, but they would have to come out to the main floor because the weights, until eventually, I want to say maybe a month ago, they finally got like 90-pound dumbbell on there. So I was so excited to see that, because women can lift too, women are strong too. So I can't wait to see like what Triumph, like what we come up with. People talking about our gym, people feeling comfortable at our gym, and just freaking crushing it. That's what I want to see. Freaking crushing it. The most amazing thing is seeing people, the whole journey. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see someone who's been doing gymnastics since they're like 10 years old, but it's even more impressive when you see somebody who's like 50 and or 40 and they're starting to get into it, which, by the way, at my gym, there's a guy like he must be like early 50s, kid you not, and he's doing calisthenics, that he looks like he's just starting it. So it's so impressive to see, people want to do different things. People want to do, not everybody wants to do, you know, like that bicep curls. So let's diversify and get all these, you know, accommodate all these type of different styles of working out. So
Yeah,
I
for
can't
sure.
wait.
I can't wait either. Honestly, Rose, I like to look on this website. It's called Biz. I think Buy Biz Sale or something like that. It's basically a website where there's businesses for sale, and there'll be gyms on there. And I'm like, man, in my area, there's like an Anytime Fitness. I don't know if you ever heard of that. That's like another like fitness chain. It's similar to 24-hour fitness, but except for they got like their own different like rules, policies, and how they go by things and own culture. But anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing a seller finance with the owner of that gym and just be able to, come in, have lawyers, accountants, negotiate with them where they'll basically give me the gym. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Anytime Fitness off the front. We're gonna put Triumph on there, put the weights that we want in there, and already have the members that was at Anytime Fitness, give them the option. Hey, do you want to stay a member? All things is going to be different. The name's going to change. The coach is going to be a little different. We'll have some better equipment, better people are going to be in here, better staff is going to be in here, and everything like that. And I want to push it all over social media like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Do ads and stuff, get people coming to that gym, have videos on YouTube where I'm just, day in the life of a gym owner. I'm in there. I'm like, they're dapping people up and stuff. They're having a good time. Got trial clothes on the shelf, got supplements and stuff in there. Because honestly, I really would love to dive into supplements too. Because Rose, I don't think you know this, but that was one of my dreams. My dream is always to at least own a gym. I always wanted to own a gym. Like on my YouTube channel, I had a lot of fitness videos and stuff back then, and I'll be real. I mean, I've always loved fitness, but I fell out of love of like recording myself and just me flexing in the mirror all the time. I'm more in love with building the clothes for the fitness people. I'm more in love with getting the gym for clothes for fitness people, giving them a platform to be able to do something, become better. Now, don't get me wrong though, they don't shoot. By the end of this year, you might see me start going back flexing and stuff, getting in photo shoots and everything. And speaking of photo shoots, Rose, we do have to come and do a photo shoot with you soon. But yeah, is there matter of fact, let's get into your story because we went in on the fitness stuff. I was want to ask you at the beginning of the podcast because you said you lived in Peru, and I'm a fan of traveling. I love going over. I love going to different countries. I love being able to travel. I love being able to go out and see beautiful things. And I want to go to Peru one day. So what about Peru was something that you truly loved and enjoyed when using Peru?
I would say Cusco. Cusco, if you like, it depends. Like if you're, people say like to travel. If you're the type of person that you're like, all right, let me get that all-star treatment. Let me get the resort and I'm staying here and I like the fancy hotels, then Peru's not like, the Cusco is not for you. But if you're the type of person when it comes to traveling that you like, I want to dive myself into the culture, talk to the people, eat the local foods, not eat at the fancy restaurant. Because everybody that knows that the best food are like the mom and pops, the little corner, the little corner places that have been in the family for years. They're like that are the gems when it comes to, to little restaurants and whatnot. So Peru is an ancient, what do you call it, Inca city, right? You have Machu Picchu there. So if you like the whole feel, like if you want to like, let's say walk in back into like 1700s, because there's so many cathedrals, there's so many, areas where you literally feel like you traveled back in time. I would say, Cusco. Cusco is definitely like the place to go. Lima is the capital. Lima is beautiful too. Obviously it's way more modern, but like I said, it depends like what you like, what type of person are you. Um, Lately I've been like I want to get into the whole culture. Forget the fancy hotel. That I mean it's cool, but like, staying at a resort, I want to like submerge, get in the culture, talk to the people,
Yeah.
eat the food that you're like, yeah, oh, you went to Peru? Oh, then you ate the ceviche, right? You ate the ceviche. So definitely recommend Cusco. My family's Colombian. If you're going to Colombia, you definitely have to go to Medellin. Medellin is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. There's so many things to do. Let's see. Obviously, we went to Puerto Rico, so you already know that Puerto Rico's lit.
Yeah, super.
Maybe there's a future trip too, I hear, down for Bali or whatnot. So let's see how
Yeah,
that goes.
heard it through
Maybe
the grapevine.
so, or I don't know, Europe. I don't know. Is there any place you'd like to go to Europe?
I would love to go to Monaco, Greece, Italy. I'd love to go to Switzerland. I'd love to go to the UK. I would love to go to mm, Germany, Hungary. Let me think. There's a lot of beautiful
Pull all
countries
of
out
them.
there.
Just put them all in there. Just put them
I
all
would
in
like to
there.
go to. I would like to go to every country besides maybe. Honestly, I would love to go to every country. I know a lot of people talk about don't go to Russia, don't go to Russia, don't go to Iran, don't go to Iraq, don't go to Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of countries that people talk about they don't want me or don't want others to go to or don't think others should go to that I want to go to. I just want to go and experience it, even if I'm in like maybe a private area of it. I just want to go and see what it's like. But yeah, all of Europe I want to go to, especially think about going to the Eiffel Tower out there. Man, I can see myself right now, a nice like meat coat or a nice like suit, looking fresh, looking up at the Eiffel Tower. Got a nice wife with me. She born too.
I see you do one of those pictures where you're like doing some type of thing with the like with the Eiffel Tower behind you, and you're kind of like just doing like doing something like that. That's exactly what I see you doing that. I see you doing those type of pictures.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there having a ball, boy. I might get a little scooter just so I can be around it.
I went to Paris. It was like right before pandemic. And it was freaking cold, It was really cold. So if you want to be outside, I suggest you go during the spring and summer months. So unless you like the cold, I'm more of a warm climate type of person. And it's funny you mentioned Russia earlier, because I've heard the same thing, but I was like, no, I guess, there's all different cultures that you gotta experience, on your own, where, we're used to certain things and you go to different places and you're not used to it. So it's so new and foreign to you, So I agree with you. Going to countries where they tell us not to go to. The ones that obviously, the ones that are safe and stuff.
Oh, I didn't tell you about this, Rose, but we had someone from Pakistan message us in the Triumph DMs, and they're a manufacturing company out there in Pakistan. So I'm like, man, we could get this thing overseas. We can get a manufacturing company out there somewhere, because I studied Nike. I love Nike. Everybody loves Nike. Who doesn't like
Who doesn't?
Nike? That's like
Who
the
doesn't?
main.
Who
Like
doesn't have some
brand.
type of Nike product, whether it's underwear, whether it's like t-shirts, sneakers, obviously, hats. Who doesn't have something from Nike?
I don't know too many people that don't. And I was reading Phil Knight. He's the owner of Nike. Well, he's not anymore. He sold the business off. He retired, but he's the founder. He started it, got it to where it was, and did all types of things. Man, he literally had to fly back and forth to Japan. He got factories down there where they were making the shoes down there. He was doing deals and stuff with people in Japan and other countries that were down there. I think the other country that he did business with was, I think it was Indonesia, and it was Japan. Don't quote me on it though. But I know the fact that I'm gonna have to travel around the world. I'm gonna have to get the brand out there, because little does Nike know. I mean, we may not be that brand like everybody thinks, but literally, I want to see Triumph everywhere I go. Like I want to go to New York Broadway, and I want to see a bunch of people just walking down
Marcellus, we're like, yeah, the check mark is kind of cool, but guess what? Our shield is gonna be up there.
We're gonna come up with other logos and stuff too. Honestly, I just see us also. I don't even just see us just doing activewear. Like I'm in H&M, like I've been working at H&M. I've been looking at their stuff. I'm like, okay, they do button-ups like that, women clothes like H&M. That. Like literally, we can get into the fashion part of it too. H&M has so many different branches. Like they even have home decoration. They have fashion. They have all these other things. Yeah, they have home decorations and stuff where the people get good bed sets and stuff like that for their bed and stuff. I'm like, man, that's a good idea. Like, and I also want to get like
You're going to work at H&M and you're freaking masterminding while you're there. You're like, oh, look at this. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yep, and then I'm learning how to run the cash register. So when I have my store, I know how the other person gonna have to run the cash register. Hey, look, you gotta do this and this. You gotta do that. We need sensors on this. You know, like people at the store know that I have an online store, and then I'm there to learn. So it's not like I'm keeping it hidden. Like, you know, I'm there to learn. Obviously, I'm there to make some money, but don't expect me to be there long whenever a Triumph company is breaking in, you know, $5,000-$10,000 a month. Because our goal is to hit 100K in revenue. And I'm saying it here on the podcast. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about money, but money's the only thing everybody measures. Like literally, I'll be at work and I hear people talking about, man, if I'd win the lottery, what I would do. I'm over here like, man, my company's about to be the lottery. My trading's about to be the lottery, man. Cryptocurrency's about to be my lottery.
Hey.
Real estate about to be my lottery. So yes, oh my gosh. I feel like, you know, we got another thing I want to do, Rose. I think you would agree with me on this. So you know Smoothie King, right? You ever been to Smoothie King?
No, I've never been to Smoothie King.
What? Okay, I'm taking you to Smoothie King. One day, I'm taking you. So
are they a franchise? Are they a franchise? Are they
Yep.
okay? So I don't know. I've never seen one over here.
So they're a franchise, and you can go in there and you can get protein shakes blended up for you, smoothies. They have like the protein cookies and stuff in there. They have other snacks and treats. My favorite one out of every single shake that I've ever had, shake or a smoothie that I've had, well, I got two favorites. One is the Hulk. It's literally, you get it in vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. It has pecan ice cream in there, weight gainer protein, bananas, peanut butter, and I don't know if it's like fruits in there too. But you can add like vitamins, you can add muscle gainer, you can add creatine in there, you can add probiotics, immune support.
I guess that's why it's called the Hulk, because it's got everything in there.
Hey, I used to drink them right after I got the gym. That's when I was wanting to bulk up. And I want to buy a couple of Smoothie Kings, and I want them to be close to my Triumph gym. So when people get out of the gym, they go straight there and get some smoothies, you know. And I don't know if I should have like Triumph, like supplement store or smoothie store, but I do want to buy some Smoothie Kings because I truly believe it's beneficial, because not everybody has time to do 6, 7, 8 meals. No. They could do maybe a couple of smoothies a day and get that protein in too. You know, that supplementation is not necessary, but it does help out for people that aren't able to get all their protein in. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's another thing. Meal prepping is difficult. And it's like, what do you call it? It's more homework that you got to do. So like you said, throwing like a smoothie, that totally helps. I've been doing way more of that lately, way more of that. And you see the difference. You see the difference for sure. But I've got to go to Smoothie King. I don't know if you've ever had a avocado smoothie. I was like, let's see how open-minded he is. Let me suggest an avocado smoothie. You know, I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you love avocados, you know, if you want to keep an open mind, you know, they actually are kind of good, because I was like, you know, like avocados are usually like salty, but having it in a sweet way, let me see if that works. But yeah, I had that, and I thought I was gonna like it, but liked it. So try that.
Hey, what do you think about like Triumph protein powder or Triumph pre-workout, Triumph energy drink? You know, I'm thinking all that.
Or just have a juice bar inside the gym.
Yeah, you can. I know a lot of gyms have it where their staff and employees, somebody walks up, hey, can I get a smoothie? Or if they have energy drinks in the back and all that stuff. I know Gold's Gym does that, but I just want to be different from the rest, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing, just being different, like doing things differently. You know, I don't know if you've seen this movie recently, the one about the McDonald's. I actually saw it. The
McDonald's
owner...
has a smoothie?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm like changing the subject. No, we were talking about being like different and completely doing things out the, what do you call it? Just doing things differently. I forgot what it's called. This movie just came out, and they're speaking about, or it's all about like the McDonald's franchise, but what made McDonald's so differently, right? Because, you know, back in, I think what was this, like late 60s or whatever, when people wanted to go out to eat, what would they do? They go to a diner, they drive up in their car, they get their, you know, their order, and they get a plate of food, and they take long, and it wasn't quick. So why McDonald's was so revolutionary was because they introduced the whole fast food, you know, what do you call it? Like the whole fast food
Industry.
part of it. Exactly.
Right.
Where it was just like, all right, here's your food in a bag. And it was like, okay, you should see it. Like they're like, okay, so my food's in a bag and what do I do? Why is this burger wrapped up in paper? You know, why is this? You know, and it would be like, okay, what's your order? Okay, here. And they're like, wow, I just got my food in under 2 minutes. Where before, you know, people go to the diner, drive up diner with the roller skates and whatnot, and they wait like a whole half hour. Their food comes out cold. So that's why McDonald's was so revolutionary. So coming back to like into what we were talking about, Triumph, doing things differently. So that's why I love this partnership. I love like the way that we thinking. I love having these conversations because we're not scared to do things differently. Even though others just be like, nah, that doesn't work. I don't want to do it that way. You don't see other gyms or you don't see other companies doing things a certain way. But you gotta like do things different, and we gotta revolutionize. We gotta evolve, right? Nowadays, you know, we all want things, we like it simple. So hey, what if not only do we have the gym like you were talking about, but also having, you know, the protein shakes and having everything just like there at people's disposal, where all they got to do is like, okay, gym, here's my meal plan, I got my clothing, hey, not only do I got my gym clothes, I got some cute outfit. You know,
Got it all. And honestly, another thing I've been thinking about, because I think in the next decades or so, probably when I'm in like when I'm probably like 50 or 60, I think clothing is going to change a little bit. And you got Elon Musk, he's talking about sending people to Mars. I'm like, okay, what type of clothes is Elon Musk see his people having? Like, what could I do to like make clothes like that? Do I gotta make it intergalactic, whatever that word is called? I don't even know what I just said.
yeah. You know how we right now, like the biggest thing, especially for like what do you call it, for sports and fitness, is having the dry fit. What if because we're in Mars, we need something that hydrates the body, right? So right now we got like, you know, dry fit to keep us, you know, nice, and so we're not sweaty, but we're probably gonna need clothes to keep hydrated. That helps in some way, you know, that helps us with the water retention in our body. I don't know.
Some type of suit, like it's gonna be futuristic. You know what I'm saying? Like I think of stuff like that. And honestly, if you're somebody that's thinking about listen closely, listeners. If you're thinking about starting a company or being an entrepreneur, you need to be thinking in the future. Don't get me wrong. Be in the process, be in the now, do everything you can now. But really, if you aren't thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to do this 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I can see us being here doing that, then you may not have the entrepreneur spirit. You may just be doing this just for the money. Like literally, I do this because I truly enjoy it and I love it. Like, man, we'll come out with a new design or something like, oh my God, we did that. Like, dang. So it's so many things you can do when you have a team of people that have the same vision and goal, working towards the same thing. Like literally, like Rose, me and you are on the same wavelength. Like when I talk to you, I almost feel like you are like my sister that I never had. That go now. I got a sister that does like, well, she used to like run a lot of miles and do a lot of home workouts and stuff like that. But when it comes to like lifting that iron though and getting in there, getting down to the nitty gritty, you already know what to do. We got about like 6 more minutes because we just go about an hour here. But Rose, what is something you would tell maybe that struggling woman? She may be overweight, she may be not enjoying herself, or a guy, or anybody on this podcast right now that may need motivation to keep going and to become their better self. What would you say to that individual?
The first thing I would say would be not to victimize yourself, not to wallow. It's like, okay, whatever I'm going through, all right, accept it and understand and be like, okay, for example, let's take like being overweight. Okay, I'm overweight. Am I gonna sit there and just complain about it, keep looking at, you know, people that are healthier, you know, just like sit down and poor me and this and that? No, like, okay, accept it and then make a decision to change your life. Make a decision, because it all starts with a decision. Okay, this is what my circumstances now. What am I going to do about it? And then, you know, what is my goal? Okay, if I'm obese, my goal would be, you know, to lose weight and to be healthy, right? So here's where I am. this is where I want to be, and then be like, okay, what do I have to do in order to get there? And if you don't know, you know, you get like get a trainer, get a, what do you call it, get a nutritionist, do something to start making those changes. But it all starts with a choice. It all starts with a decision. And sometimes we don't know what we have to do in order to get started. You know, like I said, when I started, I didn't had no idea, and I couldn't afford a trainer. So I was like, okay, I can afford an app. And nowadays it's even easier because there's so many people that know what they're doing, and they're uploading things on YouTube, and there's way more apps than there were before. So making a decision and sticking to it, being disciplined and consistent, because you're not going to have results from one day to another. You're not going to lose, you know, you're not going to lose the weight. You're not going to be toned. It's all a process. So understanding that, accepting that, and taking action, that's all. And changing that mindset, right? Changing that mindset, you know, for a lot of people that do personal development, they know the first thing is like mindset. So changing that mindset, and obviously like having a little bit of love for yourself, because we're always down talking to ourselves like, I can't do this and I can't do that and da 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 da. But if we continue to talk to ourselves like that, then we're never going to get anywhere. If I had talked to myself like, oh, you know, I'm already a mom, I don't have time to go to the gym, you know, I'm already in my back then I'm already in my mid-20s, how am I going to start this now, blah blah blah. If you keep giving excuses to yourself, you're really not going to go anywhere. So it is easier said than done. But so like step one, okay, give yourself that little pity party that you need you know, to then take action, right? So that's just my, I guess would say my advice.
Let's go. Appreciate everybody that's listening, everybody that's going to listen. This is episode 14 of Triumph, or I say Triumph, of the T.O.D. Project podcast with Rose. It was amazing. If you guys will go down below, look in the description. Her Instagram will be down there. All the links to our store will be down there. Also, our discount code will be down below. Guys, be on the lookout for new gear coming out, new great things for Triumph Company and the T.O.D. Project. I appreciate everybody that listened. Thank you, Rose, for coming on to this podcast. I hope everybody has a great day. God bless. Don't be stressed. And we're out. Peace.
Thank you, Marselis, for having me. It was a great conversation.